David started in pro karting at the age of 15, won championships, but by 23, the self-funded pro had run out of money. Dad, Bobby Perrell, then watched his two sons start a tech company, which in 5 years funded David's return to the track.
What was it like racing a son who had a definite need for speed?
It was going to be interesting, let's put it that way, because we weren't sure if the guys would get into racing and that. But when he was about 3 or 4, we could see that he had a potential, because we remember we bought him a little scooter once, and the first thing, he couldn't wait to put on a helmet and race around the house all day and all night on our beautiful wooden floors. After replacing the floor about 3 times, we realized we're going to go somewhere with this. So it was just a matter of time and see where he would go.
What role do you think your parents played in molding you what you are today?
My dad had a huge influence on me. He used to race when he was younger, and I found those pictures when I was still 3 or 4 years old, and I saw him in a racing car, and I wanted to emulate that. The minute I saw those pictures, I knew exactly what I wanted to be. And the other big influence was his work ethic. He worked 20 hours a day, and I knew that that kind of ethic that I needed from my dad was what would be required for me to become a successful racing driver.
And since then, I can see things haven't changed much. What is that?
I've always used my PlayStation to train for racing.
Yeah.
Even when I was racing when I was younger, I didn't have the budget to go practice every weekend at the racetrack, so I've tried to figure out ways that I could replace that.
Physically, you need to keep your weight down, do hours of running, push-ups, pull-ups and squats. Plus, you need to put in a lot of game time.
Am I going the right direction?
You are not, but it's okay because they won't see this.
Handbrake, sir! So you actually trained on this for a real live track in a real car?
Yes, absolutely. I practice at the racetracks that I'm going to race at before every event. I spend hours on it and make notes on all the details and the reference points. A lot of the tracks that I've raced on this year, I've actually been playing on for 15 years or so.
There's so many good drivers though, so many good races. What sets you apart? What makes you the best?
I like to think it's my determination more than anything else. It's been very difficult to get as far as I have, especially coming from South Africa and racing in Europe. And when I look at my competitors and how they've gotten as far as they have, without a doubt it's not easy for anyone, but I just feel like the fire, the desire, the need is stronger. Along with that, the work ethic that I have, which I learned from my folks, I think sets me apart.
He is so good at this game, it's hard to believe that he actually has a girlfriend.
Yeah, he's actually been away a lot this year, so at times I've felt a bit single, but I really do admire, someone who is able to pursue their dreams the way that Dave does. So I'm really proud of him, and I just really want him to kind of see the fulfillment of his dream just because he's poured so much into us. So I think that would really make me happy.
I'm going to go to the track now with him, and I'm going to be a passenger in this very fast car. Have you done it before?
I have. I really enjoy the straights. I quite enjoy the speed, but I don't cope on the corners at all. So good luck. I hope he doesn't do any donuts or anything crazy with you. Good luck with that.
Yeah, I wish me luck. I'm going to need it. Yeah. Well, David, I think this is for the puppies. Why don't we go see where the big dogs play?
We can. Just one more lap.
No, come. Bye-bye. Lovely to meet you. Ciao.
At Killarney, we met David's brother, Mark, and mentor, Claudio Piazzamuso. Claudio's teaching allowed David to return to competitive racing at the age of 30. He taught him accountability for all that happens on the track.
There must be quite a lot of pressure for you, because how do you prepare a champion?
Motor racing is a funny thing because there's so many aspects of it. It's not just being a quick driver. You have to be a consistent driver. You have to train fitness-wise. You have to communicate with your team on technical issues, etc. And then mentally, you've got to really prepare the driver what to expect, those kind of things, all the difficult aspects that you have to face.
I think racing really is about mental strength, even more so than speed. But technology also helps.
Absolutely. Nowadays, the cars are fitted with a special timing system and sensors where we basically can pick up all the data from the car. We then download it onto the laptop, and then we can analyze. We can put a lap on top of a lap, and then you can compare, like certain corners, you make a mistake, you brake too late, you scrub off speed, then you give feedback to the driver, and then he can understand specifically that corner what he's doing wrong. But as you say, mentally, that is your, let's say, 100% factor that can make a difference.
So Mark, what is Dave like as a brother?
Dave is quite feisty, obviously. You know, that's the kind of personality you need to be a racing driver. But Dave also really knows how to push people. And being my older brother, he's often put me in situations where he tries to get the best out of me in the way that only an older brother knows how.
Obviously, because you've raced together as kids and now you work together, I think that must make you guys exceptionally close and maybe each other's biggest cheerleaders.
I think we're definitely the two that we want to impress the most of all the people in our lives. The one person we've always wanted to impress was each other because we were so close.
With David's savings from his and Mark's business, he financed a seat in a team competing in the Italian GT Championship for Lamborghini.
How good are you? How's your last season been, for instance?
So in the last 12 months, I've competed in 10 races. I've won 5, finished on the podium 9 times. We raced in the Italian Championship this year. I finished second. We only missed out because of a puncture, 2 punctures rather. But besides that, everything's been going really well. I was set more fastest laps and more pole positions than any other driver in Italy. And that's considering they've had years and years of experience at those racetracks. And every race I went to was the first time I'd seen that track before.
Wow. You are basically living every man and little boy's dream ever.
I always say that I was born with a helmet on my head, and it's almost quite literal. And my whole life, I've been wanting to become a pro racing driver.
Rule number 1, safety. David broke a leg after experiencing brake failure at 220 k's an hour. Jeannie found herself switching between fear and fascination at how this man controls such outrageous power. He is the real deal.
That was absolutely incredible. From the red couch to the racetrack, Dave Perel has exactly what it takes to get him all the way to Le Mans. Now I'm driving.
South Africa has waited some time for a Le Mans champion, man or woman.